Garrow Von Dane back here in Fairbanks, Alaska at the 119th annual Midnight Sun Game with the Seattle Studs in front of the Goldpanners. 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. Sean Caligari back out for his third inning work. Will face Munoz, Rocha, and Leiterman, 2, 3, and 4 spots in the Panner batting order. And I'm joined now by Major League Hall of Famer and new statue recipient and former Goldpanner Dave Winfield. Dave, congrats on the statue, and welcome back to Fairbanks.
GVD, my man, thank you very much. It's great just to be back here, and I got my family with me, and so we did that honor with unveiling the statue today, and we're watching the game, Midnight Sun. I played in a couple of these things back in 71, 72.
Yeah.
But this whole Goldpanner experience kind of shaped the trajectory of my career in a lot of ways.
I want to get to that too, because that was, obviously early in your career. You were a two-sport athlete at Minnesota playing basketball and baseball, and you came up here as the strikeout occurs of Munoz, one down here in the third. Came up here mainly as a pitcher.
Yeah, I did. That's all they let me do at University of Minnesota, even though my whole life I was a hitter, shortstop, outfielder, and then pitcher. But they wanted to just go one way, and it was pitching. That's what my scholarship was. And then I came up here, and they let me hit. And people, I go professional. I'm only a hitter. And people don't know I pitch now.
So was it Jim Dietz that helped you make that transition?
Yes.
The coach here?
Yeah, Jim Dietz. Rest his soul. I appreciated him so much because he even helped me as a pitcher. When I came up here, there was stuff that I had to learn. I was good, but there was a lot I had to learn. And he showed me a couple new pitches and a way to go about my business, and that was very helpful. And then he said, we want you to hit, because one guy went pro. I think it was Rod Boone, and then they put me in to hit, and I hit a home run across the street.
Ground ball up the middle and through. A base hit for Rocha. Brings up Leiterman. Panners have a man on and one out, joined by Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. And that home run you're referring to, there's a lot of mythology here about the curling club. Who hit it? Who put it on the roof? Where did your home run land?
It was so high and so far and so fast out of the stadium. I can't tell you where it landed, but I know there's a mark on that curling club that we're seeing right now. It was one of the longest home runs I ever hit in my life.
It had to be. I mean,
so it's the truth. I don't know exactly where it hit, but it was out of the stadium and across the street.
I heard the bounce was high enough that everyone in the stands could see it high into the air.
No doubt. It's like in Chicago at Wrigley Field when it goes out of the park, you see that ball bouncing down the street. But overall, that was just an opportunity. It was a door open. In fact, just coming up to Fairbanks and playing for the Goldpanners back in the day, it was a wonderful opportunity. We had first-round draft picks. A lot of guys go pro. We traveled to Europe to play, in a tournament over in the Netherlands. And we went to the NBC tournament, but once we played the Glacier Pilots, we go to Seattle, Portland, Eureka, Boulder, and on to Wichita. And we had some great players, and I made a lot of friends, and it kind of changed the trajectory of my college baseball career.
How did the Fairbanks thing happen for you? The throw to first gets away, the Sun playing into it as Sherman can't field it. Over to second and on his way to third goes Rocha, and he will slide in safely. So the E1 allows Rocha to get to third with one out, and the Panners trailing by one with Leiterman at the plate. So, how did the Fairbanks thing come about for you?
Jim Dietz and Don Dennis, they called or wrote or whatever. They didn't have internet. It wasn't an email or a text, that's for sure, in 71. They said that a team in Alaska is interested in you and see if you want to come up there and play. And I didn't know anything about Fairbanks. I didn't know anything about the Goldpanners. But they said that they were a quality team, very competitive, and it might be good for you. And you get a job in the summer. You live with a family. I said, oh, really? And so I just took them up on it. Door was open. I went through it. And as a result, 2 incredible years. And I told people, I thank the families that took me in. I thank the people who let me work.
Foul back, 2-2.
And, you know, I think just Alaska, man, it was, you know, you have to be hardy. You got to be rugged up here, you know what I mean?
Especially in 71.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, 19, 20,000 people was it. Now I look at the town now, it's sprawling, a sprawling metropolis.
Metropolis here.
Compared to what it was back then. But I tell the kids, I guarantee you the city's 3-4 times larger than when I was here.
Yeah.
And but that didn't matter. I just liked being here, and it worked out for me.
3-2 is chopped towards short. Runner hung up. Now he's stuck between third and home. The indecisiveness. They're going to throw it home. Catcher Bergstrom chasing him back to third as the pick will continue. And they make the tag. And over to second base. So a base running mistake there. As he's tagged out between third and home. Leiterman ends up at second base on the play. Panners with a mistake on the base paths after having a runner at third with 1 out and a missed opportunity, but still a chance for Mikey Bill to try and drive the runner in. You mentioned Don Dennis, the GM for so many years, presiding over all the Goldpanners success, a mentor of mine, a good friend. Have you kept in touch with Don a little bit over the years?
Yeah, we've been in touch recently, and actually he did an interview because actually I'm doing a documentary. And
that one is crushed to left by Bell. He drops the bat and watches it fly over the left field fence and onto Second Avenue. A 2-run home run for Mikey Bell, and that's 3-2 Goldpanners.
Wow, nice.
That looked like Dave Winfield swinging the bat.
Yeah, I'll give him credit. Tip of the hat, there he is.
That was crushed. Matthew Chavez will stand in, and the Panners are back in front. Yeah, so there's a documentary in the works?
There is, and they're doing interviews and going to places. And, you know, this happened to be on the schedule. You know, so they're erecting and unveiling a statue. And the guy said, man, can we go up there and videotape? I said, let's do it. Let's do it. So Alaska will be featured prominently in that production when it's over.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's such an amazing place, and you know, Alaska gives a lot to you. What, as this one is hit into center field, and Chavez into first base safely. The Panners keep it rolling here in the third now with a 3-2 lead. What did you take from your experience here that you've carried with you?
Well, they taught me to play baseball. You know, it refined some of my skills that enabled me to play against the much better players. And then they let me hit. And obviously I had a 22-year professional career, didn't even go to the minor leagues. So they taught me something up here. This is where I really blossomed.
That's an amazing feat. I mean, people know about drafted by 4 teams in 3 different professional sports, but I mean, going straight to the major leagues, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and it wasn't all peaches and cream. I had a lot to learn, rough around the edges, but what little leverage I had back then, I would play basketball if I don't go to the major leagues right away. I said, all right, we'll give you a chance. We'll give you a chance. So they figured the first 3 months, you know, I could hang around. Then they were planning to send me to AAA the next year, but I played my butt off in spring training. And they said, well, he made the team, and I never looked back.
Never had to ride those buses.
No.
Griffin Harrison, the batter. I'm joined by Hall of Famer Dave Winfield here in the press box. 2-year Goldpanner in the 70s. 71, you guys went to the NBC Championship, lost a crushing championship game to the Pilots. But then in 72,
we got him back.
Got him back and started that successful decade, ultra successful time period for the Goldpanners. And that had to feel great winning the championship back then.
Oh, it did. It was a breakthrough, and you know, some people play here 1 year. I played here 2, so I experienced the losing, experienced the winning. And I made so many friends. And then I played against a lot of these guys in college, you know, College World Series and such. And then I played against or with them professionally. There was a guy, Rich Trojan, that played for this team. We were teammates. Dave Roberts, who was a #1 pick out of Oregon. We played together, so I made a lot of friends up here, and you know, just a great, great experience. You know, I have no negative downside at all.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Harrison with a runner at first base and 2 down. It's a 3-2 Goldpanner lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. And Dave Winfield here in the press box joining me and talking about years past and time in Fairbanks and with the Goldpanners as it's fouled out of play. And some of those teammates you had back then, have you kept in touch with them? And when you see them or speak to them or any former Goldpanners, do you guys talk about that? Your time in Fairbanks?
Oh, yeah, we do. Randy Jones, who played for the Glacier Pilots, we're a member of the...
Popped up by Harrison. First baseman Shorman looking up into the sky. And that is out number 3. And Dave, you got a few more minutes so you can spare?
Yeah, you want to talk?
Love to. We'll be back with more with the Hall of Famer Dave Winfield. It's 3-2 Goldpanners after 3 at the Midnight Sun Game. 119th Midnight Sun Game from beautiful Fairbanks, Alaska. Joined by a former Fairbanks resident making his first trip back in many years, bringing the family too. Mr. Dave Winfield as the Panners lead at 3-2. Studs come to bat in the top of the 4th. It's Gallagher, Bergstrom, and Foster due up. And the first pitch to Gallagher is lifted high down the right field line, tracking it towards the line and making the catch is the right fielder Rocho, quickly 1 down, brings up Bergstrom. And Dave, you get to bring the family here. You've been, I'm sure, telling them stories for a long time about your time in Fairbanks.
Right.
Now they get to see it personally. They enjoying it?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. They definitely are. I've told them so many stories, but, you know, when you meet the people who are part of that slice of my life, and they see the field that I played, the houses that I stayed in, and it's been eye-opening for them because they see.
Slapped into center field, a base hit by Bergstrom, a 1-out single for the Studs in this 3-2 game, top of the 4th.
Yeah, so just to be able to show them some of the steps that I took in life, it wasn't, you know, all easy going or a straight line or, you know, I mean, I traveled 2,000 miles from home, and back then, no internet, no, you know, no cell phones or anything like that. So I wasn't calling home every day and didn't get homesick or anything like that. But you take chances. You sometimes get opportunities, go through that door. And that's what I did. And those are the kind of things I tried to teach the kids along the way. Don't be afraid to, you know, take a chance and do some things. And this was definitely one of them, because I knew nothing about where I was going.
And it's a shock when you land here too and say, oh my goodness, where am I?
But on the way up, you see the glaciers and the mountains, and where I lived, you know, you see a moose walking in front of the house, and I said, look at this. The fish that we caught, you know, pontoon plane that landed on a lake. I was ecstatic. It was totally different. And then going overseas with new guys, new friends, it all added up to a special experience.
Strikeout brings up Kamihara with 2 down, a runner at first base. I don't want to let you leave without asking about your charitable work, Dave. I was looking online. It said, I don't know if this is accurate, but it said you were the first active athlete to form a philanthropic organization.
Yeah, a nonprofit 501c3. I was. You know, I mean, everybody does it now, but, you know, people, what are you doing? What are you doing? My life has always been, in my career, it's been about service to others. First of all, make sure I was successful, do well, and then, you know, I always reach back. It's just part of my life, part of who I am. And so that's what I did, and taught other people to do it.
And when you look back at life, I mean, that's got to be one of the things you're most proud of. I mean, the baseball stuff is awesome, the accomplishments, but the family, charitable organizations.
Absolutely. Guys like Harold Reynolds, Derek Jeter.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
I could name a whole lot of people that, you know, ultimately did foundations and that kind of work. But for me, how many times I've traveled to places and not, man, you hit 465 home runs. They say, Dave, thank you. I got a scholarship because of you. or Dave, you know, we went to the hospital, and I'm sorry we didn't get everything in, but we talk all night.
Swing and a miss. We could, man. Dave, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Continued success with everything. Best to the family, and thanks for coming back to Fairbanks. Congratulations on your statue and all your success.
Thank you. My pleasure. I'll be back. I'll
Beautiful.
be back again.
And I'll be here, Dave.
All right.
Dave
GDD.
Winfield. Thank you, brother.
All right.
Goldpanners lead it 3-2 after 3.5.